Please welcome Chris Grainger and Harvest Genomics.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here at the Gryphon LAAIR event to present Harvest Genomics Incorporated. My name is Chris Grainger. I'm CEO and co-founder of this exciting new startup. We are in the golden era of DNA technologies and their application to a wide array of industries. Now, while the idea of a dinosaur theme park is still science fiction, the agricultural industry is being transformed by genomics. The current precision ag movement is all about integrating new technologies to find new solutions to old problems. For ag genomics, we now have detailed biological roadmaps to increase the precision in how we produce food and ensure food safety. In the case of food production, considerable time and money are required to bring a new plant variety to market. Using traditional breeding methods, it can range from 7 to more than 25 years, depending on the species. Incorporating DNA marker technologies reduces both time and money by being able to select the specific genes that are important for desired traits. On the food safety side, there are challenges with how growers can respond to biological threats, especially with the effects of climate change. Simple genetic tests identify numerous food production threats, from herbicide-resistant superweeds to monitoring for new invasive pests. And as our current global situation has shown, faster testing equals faster decision-making. The key to all genetic testing is the database that supports it. We are experts at harvesting the information in these databases and translating it to develop impactful genomic technologies for the agricultural industry. The Ontario ag industry is a major contributor to the economy. It is an excellent entry point for our company. Our mission is to provide genomic technologies to ag companies that do not have this capacity and support government and academic research. Our current revenue stream is generated from custom genetic testing and data analysis service. For the first 6 months, revenue was $40,000, split evenly between genetic testing and data analysis. We are projecting $200,000 to $300,000 for 2020. The Harvest Genomics team brings exceptional expertise across the spectrum of agricultural genomics, from developing and deploying genomic technologies to state-of-the-art big data analysis. This enables us to generate business across industry, government, and academia. While we are generating revenue using a conventional model, that model is changing. Portable genetic testing is the future, and we want to make Harvest Genomics unique in Ontario by offering the fastest and most robust genetic testing platform for on-site testing. This would also increase our business with the greenhouse and cannabis sectors, where regulatory issues can limit sending out samples. Portable genetic testing can be divided into two distinct methods: endpoint or sequencing. Let's take cannabis production, for example. Genetic testing is done for things like gender, THC, CBD content, strain identification, and detecting powdery mildew. Using endpoint-based testing, 4 tests would give you 4 results. Now, a sequencing-based approach, 1 test would give you all 4 results. Sequencing also allows you to customize any genetic test by increasing or decreasing the number from just a few to thousands of tests. This is very important in plant and animal breeding or testing environmental samples like soil and water. Our goal is to become your local provider for genomics-driven solutions to help the Ontario ag industry. Our unique combination of genetic testing methods, data analysis capacity, allows us to be leaders in this space today and for years to come. We are a Made in Ontario company for Made in Ontario agriculture. Our 2-year business plan starts with expanding our customer base in Ontario and to launch our portable sequencing platform by the end of the year. Next year will see us focus on marketing outside of Ontario and expanding into new markets. Ultimately, we would like to be in the gene editing space, depending on what the regulatory landscape looks like. For our initial round of fundraising, we are seeking $250,000 for expanding our testing capacity, as well as focusing on bringing our portable sequencing service to market. We would use the winnings of this pitch competition to purchase the necessary equipment for sequencing. We are also looking for business advisory and strategic partnership roles. For Harvest Genomics, COVID-19 has shown us the value of being small right now and having the ability to pivot quickly to find opportunities even in crisis. Most importantly, COVID has shown the world how important genetic testing is. And while COVID is one disease affecting one species, we have 45 economically important food species in Ontario who are developing these tests. We are. So who would like to be a part of helping us harvest the power of genomics for food production and food safety?
Thank you, Chris and Harvest Genomics. It's time for some questions. Time for the judges to grill ya. Let's have Shelley have the first question here.
Hey, Chris, great job. Even though I spent quite some time in the genomics space, I'm going to start with a finance question. So how much runway does 250,000 get you, and will it enable you to reach those key critical milestones that are going to increase your valuation for the next race?
Well, yes, it will. Probably the most transformational change over the last 10 years is the cost of doing genetic testing. So for example, in the 90s, the first human genome cost $1 billion to do. We now routinely sequence genomes for under $1,000.
But so when I asked about the runway, how much time is that going to, how many months? What is it, 12 months, 18 months?
That would give us 6 months.
Thank you.
Joe here. Great presentation. I really like this space as well. Just kind of wondering about your intellectual property strategy and plans.
Okay. So initially, we're going to focus on algorithm development, again, of translating that data that exists in all of these reference genomes, another way of saying biological roadmaps. And we see the most instant opportunity for IP in custom algorithm development and patenting that.
What about the sensor platform you're talking about, the portable platform? That looks pretty intriguing to me.
Absolutely. And as we build in more R&D budget, those proprietary genetic tests can come online. But for our immediate IP generation, we view algorithm development as a fast track.
Okay, good.
Chris, Fred here. Thank you. Really interesting topic, really interesting business. I'm curious about your go-to-market. So can you tell me how ag producers fit into this and the kind of value you might add to that? So if I'm a typical farmer in Ontario, what's the difference that Harvest Genomics makes for me?
Sure. I think the biggest difference we make is that we're local. There are many, many international and multinational big ag companies as well as big life science companies. And for the most part, they do a great job of having regional sales reps in the area, but not a lot of feet on the ground, so to speak. And really that model of, instead of acting as a hub that you send samples to, we simply go to you and do that processing. So I think that's really our valuation in this model.
And Chris, when you've tested that out, what's the response you've had from farmers? Do they see value in your boots on the ground relative to large corps?
Absolutely. I think if you can make this technology simple, that's the key. Simple uptake, and that's what we are all about, is that simple uptake of the technology, and that we will just simply go do it for you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other questions from the judges? We've got about 90 seconds left.
Yeah, Chris, maybe a quick one from me. So Fred touched on a good point about, do your customers see value? So what is your price point relative to competing technologies?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We like to call it the car dealership model, where we have everything from a Kia all the way to a Jaguar. And so that's really our model, that we want to have a price point for all sorts of different technologies that fit whatever the research and or business needs are for a given seed company, or cannabis industry. So everything from a $15 test, obviously, all the way to hundreds of dollars if you're talking about more high-end sequencing.
Okay.
Any final cues from the judges? We've got about 30 seconds left.
I guess just, if you get your $250,000 financing, what do you see your run rate in sales in, say, 2 years, 24 months out?
Well, we've already had some pretty positive discussions about setting some business up in Mexico, maybe in about 6 months to a year time. So we foresee this just being the launching pad for huge opportunities. Another possibility is in the idea of franchising, if we can get this regional idea set up. So, you know, we're looking probably about $500,000, and then from there, we hope a lot more.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Let's pause there. Thank you so much, Chris and Harvest Genomics.